Stephen, if you want to hum us in, I'm good.
Boom, boom.
Oh, and he said a beat too. Damn, this is going to be a great stream. All right.
It's official. That's our intro music.
We're there
Robert can beatbox, but he won't do it on camera.
No.
I've heard of it. All right, we've totally wrecked. No, I don't care. This is a wonderful start. Hey, welcome everybody.
Have a great day, everybody.
Oh, it was a good stream. See you guys. Bye. Guess what? Yes, it's on, Jason. All right. Dang it. I'm going to wrangle y'all at some point. Okay, welcome everybody.
Good luck.
We're wanting to kick off a live stream talking about CyberRISE, our charity that is near and dear to our heart that we're involved in. And we're blessed enough to have Chris Lair, the director of MSP911, which is our rescue organization that really is there to help an MSP in their absolute worst day. And so we're going to kind of go through a little bit of stuff and just catch you up on where we are. But anybody else have anything they want to say to open this up?
No, not a thing.
No,
okay.
Let's
I won't ever do that again. That was a total failure. Thank you. I'll take booyah. That's at least something, damn it. I kid.
We've been doing a lot. How about that?
We have been doing a lot, actually. And so I'll start us off with, as an initial catch up, I'm going to switch over to this screen here. And we're going to start off by saying that we have gone from this type of a website for MSP911, which was something that was deliciously vibe coded in a moment of need. That is something that is allowing MSPs to go to this form and very little information, and that's intentional. We don't want you to put a lot of stuff that's going to be transmitted. It's really just, hey, I have something going on. Please reach out. That then goes into one of our sponsor partners, Exigence, which is a platform we use to manage incidents. And Chris Lair and team, myself often as well, and Jason and Robert, all of us have taken cases from MSPs in their worst moment. And that's where this starts. But look at what we've gone from, and this is thanks to Jason at CNWR and Mars, one of his employees who has put 100 hours, I think, into the project of getting our branding and logos, getting us in actual new websites that allow us to really kind of meet what we expected from the beginning. So that was thanks to a really awesome in-kind donation. Jason, appreciate you, brother.
I helped a little bit.
You were involved, Stephen? I am so teasing. All right, no, Stephen owes me one Rochambeau. Yeah, for sure. Stephen, why don't you speak towards what that process was like, man? Because you spent a lot of time in that.
Yeah, I mean, it was great working with somebody who, of course, knows what she's doing. And so we went through several iterations on what it should look like, on colors, fonts, the whole 9 yards, and then coming up with all the copy for it all.
Sure.
Not really there yet, but we have the first pass at some logos, which you can kind of see in the top left.
Mm-hmm.
But we will be getting those refined we have a little bit of tweak to do for those, but we went ahead and put them up.
Yeah. In fact, if there's any graphic artists, and I don't mean necessarily, AI wielding ninjas, I really mean someone that does logos and wants to take these a step further. We think we have the ideation and concept down, but we'd love to have somebody who want to help. Yeah, knock that out.
It'll be taking the raster we have with some directional verbiage we have and just really getting them all vectorized.
And yes, we've heard of Fiverr. We now actually do have some Fiverr resources, and we'll probably go down that path as well. But yeah, so all of our sites have been revamped thanks to Jason, team, and Stephen, and just a whole bunch of time put into that. We also have another really awesome announcement, because one of the things that we have kind of figured out in life is you can't do stuff without money. It's kind of unfortunate how that works. You got to buy software. You have to have the ability to get people to be involved in this and spend their time in this in a lot of ways to manage it and grow it. And so we have an awesome partnership to announce. Who wants to announce it?
Go ahead, Robert.
I will do it. So we are absolutely delighted. Matt, if you want to just maybe jump to that screen, I know that there it is. So you guys can read for yourselves, but Huntress stepped up in a massive way. They have been really dialed into our mission right from get-go, right from the start. They were with us lockstep, and we have finally crossed through some hurdles to get sponsorship dollars coming our way. So they are definitely a strategic partner for us in many ways, but now also financially. So we'd like to thank them profusely for their support, both spiritually, their friendship, and now with their dollars. So I don't know if anybody wants to jump in on that Hunter story.
I would just
Yeah,
say real quick that yeah, it's incredible, but we all at the same time, it's what we expected hunters to do in a weird way.
Yeah.
'Cause that's just who they are.
Yeah.
That
And
is who they are.
Yeah,
From
so-
DIVD to, to what we're doing here in that, Chris. And, to your point, they didn't have to, right? We were already using their product as a way to help MSPs in their worst day when they didn't have insurance and they didn't have third-party capability or resources, right? We've enabled that partnership in the past. Jason, that came from just your constant usage of them, and Robert, yours as well over the years, and Chris, yours as well, I suppose. So
That's right.
they didn't have to do this. This is just something that they believe
They
in,
did
and
not.
it's awesome.
They did not.
Yeah.
And and they also I want to say in a weird way are our best referral partner because sometimes they're taking calls from people and there's only so much that they can do. That's where MSP911 steps in, and we work in an odd partnership with them in that way. It works. We don't want them to refer business to us,
Sure.
but
Unfortunately.
but of course, we want to take those cases that are beyond their scope. So, Huntress, if you're listening, thank you.
Yep.
But
I do want to read this.
Yeah, let me move on to some of the other sponsors because
sure.
it's important that they also get some recognition. GTIA was probably the first one to write us a check, and it was a nice sized one to help us get through the end of 25 and into early 26. So we thank them. PAX 8 provided a lot of in-kind services and support. We also have Blue Helm Technology. That would be Stephen Kellogg here on the call with us, who is our interim executive director. CNWR, that's Jason's company. A lot of the in-kind stuff, all this, these wonderful websites that you see. CyberDrain, our friend Kelvin from the Netherlands, also kicked in some money very recently. So we thank you, Kelvin. Exigence has been with us from the very start. Their in-kind donation of the Exigence incident response platform. And Threat Captain also was an early giver of funds to us to help us cover things like our own E&O and cyber policies. So a lot of their funds were earmarked for that, and we thank them profusely. To round this out, Brad Gross provided some in-kind legal support for us to help us get some of our agreements in place. 1Password also donated some licensing to us that we use. I use that all the time, every time I need to log into one of our systems. And then last but not least is the patrons at Patreon. Whatever that amount is, $1, $5, $20, whatever you can give. Believe me, as our treasurer, I see those numbers come in every month. Super grateful. It really helps cover our bills and our expenses. So we thank you for your support, both financially and in spirit. So thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Adding as well, Brad Gross also donated cash by paying some of our filing fees for some DVAs.
Yes.
Right. And also GTIA was the one that spun us out initially from Robert's vision to now where we sit. Right. And Chris, thank you for taking on the director role of MSP911. So, yeah, those are the main announcements we wanted to get out there. Was that point. Chris, one of the things that I thought might be good to talk about is you've been selecting a board. Stephen, you've been setting structure quite a bit as the president. And Chris, one of those instructions was to have a board and to bring more people in to continue growing your organization. Can you speak towards any of that yet, or is any of that something you could really say? Or
yeah, I can. We've had members added to our board recently. So Net Lynch has joined us, and I think probably the majority of people on here know Net and her skill set and really her energy and enthusiasm.
Yes,
is actually what we need as part of this. And then we also have Corey Kirkendall on our board as well.
Yeah,
and Corey obviously was with us back in the CompTIA times from the get-go, and so he understands the mission, but he also has a lot of relationships with other nonprofits that are not in the MSP space that align pretty well with us. So the hopes are that we can kind of align with them and start getting, for example, young people that are interested in cybersecurity that we need in the MSP space. There's nonprofits around that. So I'm really excited. We need this. We need this leadership in place. For those of you out there, we have already been working cases for MSPs in need at different levels. Some we've been incredible. We've been incredibly involved in some, and some of them been kind of sitting on the sidelines, just providing advice and so on and so forth. So we want to continue to be prepared. And on top of the board, I will just say we'll also be looking for responders as well. So we will definitely need those people that can be, in addition to the people that you see on this screen here, available to assist MSPs in the way that we can assist them through MSP911.
Yeah. Another thing to speak towards, Stephen, you brought a vision of education. I don't know if you said it 10 times or if it was 4 or something of that nature. But what I love about MSP911 is that what I don't love about MSP911 is the trauma. What I don't love about it is my own personal PTSD, the challenges it brings when I take every call. I had to nope out of a call. I'll share that. It wasn't pleasant. There was a call coming in. Chris, you ended up taking it for me. It was a false positives, which sucks because I could have missed a call that was actually a false positive. But I had to nope out. I was just too much. I'd taken the last couple of them. It was too much for me. So to your point, Chris, adding other people's great. But back to Stephen's point, what I do love about MSP911 is that we can take the information and actually share why these people wound up where they are, what learnings we came from it, what did they learn from it, and show, these visions of kind of, Robert, what you started when you do your talks of like rising from the ashes. And that's the purpose of the Phoenix in this regard. And, Robert, if you want to speak a little bit towards the origin of MSP911 for those that don't know, that'd be awesome.
Sure. It's an hour-plus story, but I'll try to condense it in seconds. But July 2nd, 2021, we were one of the Kaseya VSA victims. 100% of our client endpoints were impacted immediately, instantly, within the span of about 90 minutes. What really shocked and surprised me was the community response through just network of friends being involved in a peer group, and the overwhelming support we got from them as well as vendors. And it really made me, something clicked in my head in August of that year to say, what I just went through was a near-death experience from a business perspective, and the emotional trauma as well, Matt. How do I replicate what happened to us, meaning the response of what happened to us, so that it is that main.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, we all out lost Robert. All right, let me add him back. Hold on, sorry.
Chris, you're on mute, I think.
Wow, I don't know what happened there. Maybe.
Well, we were just going to say, and the story ended happily ever after.
Yeah,
that's what we're actually going to finish it for you.
Well, I am home. I don't know. My internet here is usually super solid, but what I was just wanted to wrap up to say is how could I have replicated that positive experience of community, both vendor and other MSP support. And that was that was sort of the spark for the MSP911 project to say, is there a way that I can get a bunch of volunteers that are willing to do this for others in their time of need? And then, of course, there's a story that happened after that. But here we are today as a program underneath CyberRISE.
Yeah. Yep. And in essence, we are there to help in your worst time, and super happy to have some funding to be able to grow this and support in different ways that we couldn't have before, potentially as time goes. And
well, I want to say something quickly on a personal level. I mean, Matt, you talk a lot about your PTSD. You and I share that in a very deep way.
Yep.
It's surreal to me to think that this thing is now standing on its own as a program under a nonprofit, that I have two brilliant partners in crime in you, Matt and Jason, who, saw the vision, believed in this, wanted to do something to put our efforts and time, and that we've expanded our circle by getting guys like Stephen and Chris and some of the other program directors. And it's like, there's such a warm, good feeling that I have that this thing has now even inspired some of the other programs like Framework Maps and the Hackening and that we can now be an incubator for some other great ideas that may be coming our way.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that, Robert. Like it started as just this one group of us idiots, Corey included, and Chris, and all sitting there taking calls and saying we're going to help the world, and then that gets evacuated into a opportunity for us, if you will. And I think evacuated is a fair term for that, but into an opportunity for us that we can grow several of these things and really hopefully make a difference. And I'd love to hear a time when we don't have to ever take a call on MSP911 and we shut her down and walk
That is
off.
the
right?
goal.
Like, it'd be amazing.
And, the validation is twofold. It comes from all the people who are stepping up that want to help. But now it's in the corporations and even some individuals who are they're putting money on the table saying, we believe in this, we see the vision, we know the importance. And it's just mind blowing to me to think that this crazy idea I had almost 5 Augusts ago is now this, right?
Yeah. So it's great.
Yeah,
Stephen,
and I just want to add one real quick thing on this one, just make sure that, MSP 911 is designed to help MSPs. And every once in a while we'll get an MSP calling with a client that has an issue. It's not designed for that, but we will still provide some direction and kind of guide the MSP what direction they can take their client. But it's really for MSPs, and the MSPs, we've had all shapes and sizes. And so I also want to make that known, is that you don't have to be we have MSPs that are not even, that we've never met before. I've never been at the conferences that we're at or any of those types of things. Give us a call. Somebody refers them to us or whatever the case may be. So if you know other MSPs out there, get the message out, because we will help you. And believe me, we've seen some that were like, wow, these guys, we're kind of surprised they need help, and the other guys other ways. And we don't judge. We just get in there and help.
Yeah. The other thing to add is, if you are an incident responder in the corporate world, in the insurance panel space, and you are listening to this because you're in my space and in my LinkedIn kind of feed, we need your help as well. If you find an MSP or a service provider that's going through it, please refer them to us. Please let them know that they have someone that can be an ombudsperson or give them advice or help them in resources potentially. Jason, you've written scripts to aid people. We've sat and given people kind of technical advice in some cases, or to your point, Chris, hand-holding in others.
Yeah.
Hand-holding, or we've worked with vendors, right? So they may be hitting a brick wall, or we can tell them, hey, this is how you can get through more quickly to the vendor, and this is how you need to structure a ticket, all those types of things. And in addition to that, and you say, hey, where do we fit in? If you have insurance or third-party IR, we still fit in there, because there's some things that they don't do under an insurance policy and that we do. And even if it's just plain old advice, business advice, people on here have been through this, and I know, Robert, Matt, both you guys do a great job of talking people through that, especially business owners. And IR firms aren't traditionally going to have those conversations with you. So again, just because you have insurance and they're involved, don't be afraid to reach out to us, because we can still be of assistance.
Yeah. I'll say that on the vendor front, right? Like, most of us here in this room have built relationships with vendors, right? And we're pretty close to some of them. And I try not to abuse the relationships, but this is a good reason to occasionally do that. Yeah.
Well, and it's to that point, it's the connective tissue that I think we bring, and that some of the people that we've brought into our board, like Net, and as we're going to go, we have some other board announcements that'll come from each of the programs as well as from us. And Stephen, maybe if you have just a few minutes to speak towards, not only have you been the director in a paid capacity, and I really want to speak towards this, we didn't have the monies to pay for what Stephen's costs. And so Stephen has, in this point, been an interim director, volunteering a lot of his time, and Blue Helm has been taking the one on the chin a little bit, right? Because it's coming from his company's time. And so I wanted to speak towards that, but also just, a moment with the president, if you want to speak towards kind of what's on your mind.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We've added some structure, adding more as we go, adding board members, which is awesome. And I think the next 6 months are going to show a lot of traction with where we're headed. So for those that may not know, the other 2 programs we have, Framework Maps is geared around mapping out the frameworks. So Bob Miller, who is on the comment now, is the director there, and we take things like the CIS framework and visually map those out. But then also we're through the donations of what PaxAid has provided for some of that is an application that allows us to run vendors through a questionnaire and then vet whether their product actually supports, in this case, the CIS framework controls. And then we're working hard at building out the hackening, which is super exciting. That's getting veterans in the industry to pair up with seniors at colleges to allow them to pair up with MSPs and have those college kids under clear governance and direction of the veterans be able to do things like vulnerability tests, pen tests against the MSP industry and provide reports and present the reports. So they're actually getting real world experience versus just kind of lab theory type experience. So exciting times, a lot of good stuff coming along.
Recognize that picture, Matt?
Yeah, I do. I do. I see a wild Cody Kretzinger in that picture, actually. And me in a rare shot with shorts on that most people never get, I suppose. So, yeah.
That's your new profile pic, buddy.
That's the new one, man. Matt arms crossed with shorts on. But what's cool about this, Jason, you want to speak towards that? Because this is kind of an example of what we want to do in this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually kind of even expanding where we started with the hackening stuff, right? Like I taught a class at the University of Toledo this semester on web app pen testing, and what I realized is that colleges need help, right? Like the industry moves too fast for academia, traditional academia, to be able to keep up in some stances, right? Like they're good at the theory and staying bleeding edge, right? But as far as practice goes, they lag. And so if we can help build some curriculum and maybe build some affordable cyber range type stuff that these colleges can use, and just attempt to prepare the next round of people coming into our industry, because if we don't, who will?
Yeah. And from my perspective, this has all been proved out already. You guys did your own piece where you did hacking against volunteer MSPs and found a whole bunch of stuff that helped them out. And you're doing the teaching there and pulling in industry experts to help give advice and mentor and explain how things actually run. So it's all been proved out. We're just putting the pieces together to make it an official partnership with colleges and get a curriculum built out that can go in hand, get a lab built out. But that's also, we haven't hit our funding goals for the year. So that's another reason to help out.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we also know that just dealing with college students, they like to hear the stories, right? They like to hear the examples. They like to see the people doing the stuff. And when you have some of us that have either spoken or work as adjunct professors or whatever the case may be, that's great. But when you can start rotating other people in there and getting that message, it resonates more. And plus, we all know that in college it's fairly broad. And when they have to get into the world, they go, hey, I want a job in cybersecurity, or I want a job in this. Well, you can't just be that broad. You got to figure out exactly what you want to do. And so hearing about that stuff in college gives them a head start on that, and they're not having to get that shock factor once they graduate and go, holy crap, no one told me this.
Yeah. And the real hidden secret, though, is that every time MSP911 finds an MSP that has a vulnerability or had a gap or didn't think about this or didn't segment properly or didn't have principle of least privilege in play or didn't have, every time we wind up with one of those cases, it could have been prevented by adequate security measures and adequate pen testing and discovery and doing the things to check the work. But most MSPs don't have the skills. And most MSPs don't have the money from an economics perspective. Jason, you and I did a talk about this, at GERCON about MSPs' economic challenges. And so what we're trying to solve with the hackening is that, where if we can take kids and point them at infrastructure and give them the guidance and hands-on experience to learn stuff while also providing an economic service to MSPs, that would be a golden vision. I don't know if we fully hit it, but even if it just saves one, I mean, to steal from a Garth Brooks song, I suppose. But yeah, so anyways, I digress. But super excited about that. And really, that's it. I think I can't think of much more I want to update y'all on. Anybody else have anything closing before we wrap this up?
No, I mean, I would just say, if you're out there and you want to get involved, or you know others can get involved, get the message out. I mean, we need people now. We need money now. Not to sound, we're not desperate, but we need action now. And so, if you have that opportunity, do so. Look us up. You know, pretty much everybody knows how to find us via the different websites, via us personally, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
But we're extending our arms for your help.
Yes, please reach out.
All the
Anybody
websites
else?
have a form. So even if that's the best way for you to get to it, if you don't hit one of us directly on LinkedIn or
Yep.
whatever, there's a form on each
And
one.
I've tested the forms; they work. Like
I know. I've received
first party tested. Yeah.
The emails I've received confirm that.
And also don't forget, if you see any of us at any of the conferences where we may all be busy beavers buzzing around conference spaces, and we may look unapproachable sometimes just simply because of the way we're kind of all running around or on stage or whatever. Just please, like, don't be shy. Come introduce yourself, ask questions, get curious, please.
Yeah.
I look unapproachable because I'm unapproachable.
You are unapproachable.
That's a 100%
Really
accurate
not.
statement.
It's just, yeah.
No, you just got to ask Jason. Hey, you want to go break into this room with me? It's done.
That's it. Now we're friends.
Now fully approached.
Do not do anything illegal.
Yeah,
Right, Robert? You've never been participant in any of those types
Oh,
of
I
activities.
have plausible deniability. There's no footage of me doing anything. With
That's
Jason,
accurate.
so.
That's accurate.
I've got one more thing real quick,
Yeah,
Matt.
go, Steven.
So we were recently nominated to apply for a grant. And I just want to throw that out as if you guys hear of grants that are out
yes.
there that would help us. First of all, thanks to the person who did nominate us, but
Yep.
and we did apply for that. But if you have other ones that you think would be applicable, either for CyberRISE as a whole or specific, like really aligned with one of the 3 programs, please reach out and let us know. That would be helpful.
Yep, absolutely. And then just because Michael popped it in the chat, thank you, Michael. Yeah, we're aware of the Canvas hack
Yeah. I know.
happening right now.
Funnily
yeah.
enough, I had my students, the University of Toledo where I taught, use Blackboard. We were pen testing Blackboard because they have a vulnerability disclosure program in Safe Harbor. So maybe if UT used the other one, we might have found it and sent it to them before they got popped by it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well, and we'll save that for our talk coming up at MSP GeekCon, Jason. We have some real conversations coming for that. So, all right, peace out, y'all. Thank you so much. I'll just end it with saying thank you very much to all of our
We gotta go, so are we
sponsors,
doing this?
Patreon patrons.
Oh,
We're
so
doing
we're
this.
doing this
Oh gosh, y'all are
Yeah.
gonna see how badly my nerves
Yeah,
are damaged
I
by my right
cannot do
hand
that.
right now.
It's the right
It's not
hand.
possible.
Yeah.
Right?